Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to hold another session on depression, and this is titled Combating Depression. So we will be discussing more techniques for overcoming this depression. Now, first of all, we must remember that life is a continuous process. We are here on this planet Earth for some 60, 70, 80, 90 years at the most, and after this we'll depart for the hereafter. So there is a continuity of life. Now, if one believes in it, good enough, it is for his own betterment. But if one doesn't believe in it, the rule or principle stays. But one must remember that without faith, life is empty. Then it will amount to a zombie like existence, or we will be like the hollow man, or we will be half dead. So, if we look at some of the modern movies, this is a theme which is quite prevalent in those movies that there are zombies who are attacking human beings. So, state is a state of existence in which there is no faith in God, no faith in higher values, nothing at all. So one must read it as writing on the wall that most of the people have drifted away from faith and they must try to bring a living faith back into their lives. Last time we talked about prayers, and if we study the Holy Quran, if we study the Bible, we'll find how the prophets prayed to God Almighty. I'll just give you an example of one prayer made by Prophet Moses when he reached the oasis, and there he helped the two daughters of Hazrat Shuaib alayhi salam. After that, he was exhausted, tired, and he sat down and he prayed to God Almighty, Rabbi inni nema anzalta alayya min khairin faqir. Okay, whatever you sent to me, my Lord, I am in great need of that. So this is a prayer made in all earnestness, in all sincerity, in all humility. This kind of a prayer receives acceptance straight away. Then there are prayers which are deferred for a long period of time. Sometimes they take years, sometimes they take more than centuries. So all depends on God Almighty because He is the creator, He knows what has to be done. But one must not give up on God. That is not the way the believers should behave. Then one must remember that if winter comes, can spring be far behind? After every difficulty, there is ease. Innamal usre yusra. So remember also this thing that we are spiritual beings having an earthly experience. So one must try to bolster one's faith because faith is something which is like a light in your heart. It is like something which energizes you. In the modern age, we have become doubting creatures. That should not be the case. सुने तहजीब हाजिर के गिरफ्तार गुलामी से बदतर है बेयकीनी. So we must bolster our faith because the body is going to waste away and it is going to rest in the grave. It will decay and decompose there. What will go is the state of faith. And let me read out a couplet from W.B. Yeats, where he says, "An old man is a paltry thing, a tattered coat upon a stick." That is, an old man is just like a scarecrow. Unless soul claps its wings and louder sings. So, soul's nutrition basically is faith. So, if the soul has not lost its faith, then it should sing the hymns of God and seek protection of God Almighty. So that is the best thing to do, so that your end is a successful end. Now, once you want to bolster your faith, it would be very appropriate to go to consecrated places, and you can visit the shrines of the prophets. You can go to the graves of the saints, and you can go to temples, mosques, churches. And once you go there, just sit relaxed and capture the feeling or the vibes that are coming from that place. Do not go with the um, great expectations that some miracle is going to take place. Just go there with all humility, sit down, enjoy the vibes, and do not let you see the anger in you keep on um, spreading negativity around you, and that your receptors stop functioning and they do not receive, you see, the light and the peace that is being um, that is in the atmosphere there. But because if you go full of anger, then your anger will block, you see, you from receiving, you see, the grace which exists in these places. Enjoy nature and its blessings. Be in your elements. You have the earth element. Do some gardening. Remain in touch with the earth element. Water, you use it daily. Breath, it may help you in cleaning your heart and your mind, because if you inhale with the name of God and exhale with the name of God, Allahu, Allahu, if you do that, you can create, you see, that kind of an atmosphere in the heart space, and you can purify your heart. And then there is the space itself which exists, and the fire element is the energy element that is there in you, which is there because of the food that you eat. So look at the food as a blessing, and once you sit down, take it in a very pleasant manner, and treat it with respect, and it will produce or it will detoxify you. So honor yourself, you are God's vicegerent on earth. You can raise yourself to such heights where the angels even fall prostrate in front of you. Do not undermine your own self. Kalbe Momin Baitullah. It is said that the heart of the Momin, of the believer, is the temple of God. So fill your heart with love and compassion. Do not let jealousy, do not let lust and other desires pollute and contaminate your heart. So one should ask oneself this question, Aina tu sabun, where are you going? You were meant for something, you are doing something else, so where are you going? This is a very pertinent question which the Quran raises at certain junctures. Then there is this theory about head versus heart. Normally, most of the problems which are being created nowadays are because of the head. And by head, I mean, you see, negative thinking, confused thinking, overthinking, one repetitive thinking. So all these things, you see, they are keeping one occupied in negative, in a negative way. Unless the head is tutored, unless it is trained to think properly, it is useless. It becomes self-sabotaging. Instead of solving problems, it creates problems. So that kind of a mind which is having an adverse effect on you, that needs to be trained properly. And in such cases, heart is comparatively easier to train, because if you just fill it with love, it will take care of itself. If you fill it with positive emotions, it will take care of itself. If you fill it with generosity, it will provide, you see, the blood as it flows through the veins, it goes through the heart. So it will carry the message of love, it will carry the message of generosity, it will carry the message of compassion as it runs through the veins of the and arteries of the body. So look after the heart, but let us also take the head with us, and we have to train it. So in this battle between head versus heart, we will say, well done, blue, but red is the winner, because here in this particular picture, blue is the brain and red is the heart. So purify your heart, because it is not only a physiological thing, it is the seat of love, it is the seat of compassion, it is the seat of generosity. It is like a mirror, and if it gets stained, then you have to remove the stains. And remember that it is the seat of all revelations, all intuitions, all revelations are received by the prophets in their hearts. So, heart is something to be valued. Thank you very much.